Are you new to programming in JavaScript? Then this tutorial is for you. Hi everyone, my name is Yazan and I'm an instructor at Integrify Academy. We upload new content on YouTube every Thursday. Today we are continuing our JavaScript series with objects. So if you like the video, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe buttons, and let's hit it.
All right, hello again. So what we're going to talk now is objects. So what are objects and how you can create objects and what you can do with objects, right? So objects are pretty cool, pretty fast. We talked about that before. So I guess we all know now how we can create objects. So let's go with an object here, maybe salaries, and then we say, let's say what's I don't know, Walt here, Walter, and let's say Walter takes, I don't know, like let's have 50 what, I don't know, you just throw your options there. Jesse, and then Jesse takes like 30, and then we have Sky, and then this guy takes also 30. All right, so this is how we construct an object. So the object consists of properties, a property. So every line here is a property, and each property consists of a key and a value. A key could be a string, or it could be a number, like anything. Yeah, a number basically. So this is what key is about in objects. And then the value could be basically anything. It could be an array of values. It could be another objects, and this could has like a name and whatever. So any data type can be stored here as a value. So it's up to you what data are you trying to deal with. That's basically kind of the about the properties. And but there's something here, like what if I want to have a function as a property? Have you thought about that? So let's say I want to say total, and I want to have a function here as a property, and in this function, if you want to, in the function, if you want to get access to the properties that are in that object, then you would use this keyword. This keyword will be pointing to the salaries object in this case. So I would say maybe this dot Jesse plus this dot Sky plus this dot who are the last one, Walter. All right, so and then I would let's just console log that the whole value here. Let me just make this a bit smaller. All right, so I'm console log. So if we have a value as a function, so what do we call this property? We called it a method. That's basically it. And so right now here, if I would just say salaries dot maybe total, and now because it's a function, I need to invoke it, right? That's the only way that you can run functions. You need to invoke it, and if I try to run it, now you can see now we get the total of 110. So that's basically this is called a method. We can as well have access to other properties, like what if I want to have see what is the Walter. So let me just console log the value here, and if I try to save and run the file, it's 50. So how to access a property is via the dot, and in the dot there is one way, either the dot, or you can follow it with the brackets here, and between the brackets the name of the property, and they are kind of both the same thing. So it's kind of the same thing, but here it should be with the as a string. You should define the string, because otherwise it thinks it's a variable. So that's what's happening here. So right now it's 50. So these are like two ways of accessing it, and it's up to you how do you want to access that. So let's see how we can play around with the data. So what if I want to kind of loop get this data and do something with it? So how can I do that? So there are three ways, or at least these are like three most ways. So we have object.keys, we have object.values, and then we have object.entries. All right, so let's see what this would do for us. So if I would say, let's say console.log, and then object.keys, and I can pass what is the object that I'm trying to access. So here is salaries. Now, if I save the file and run it again, now you can see we get an array of all the keys, Walter, Jesse, Sky, and total. So we got the value of every one. So because here it's an array, now what I can do here, I could just basically do something like this. I could say, hey, create that array and then maybe loop through it, like for each or map or any other way, or like any other approach of looping. So I could say console.log like name, every name, for example. Now if I run that, you see what I did is so technically here I took that object, and then I picked the key of the object, Walter, Jesse, Sky, and total. I added them or I created an array, added them as like elements in an array, and now I have an array of the name or array of the keys. And afterwards, I use the loop, so I could loop through the keys and maybe do something with it. So that's one way if you're interested to do something with the keys of an object. But what if you want to do something maybe with the values? So there's also another one which is called object.values, and you could pass the what object you want to pass. So let me just log that. If I run it here and I call it, you see now what we got here. We got the value of 53, 30, 30, 30, and we have the function because this is a function. Cool. So let me just remove that function. It's annoying me. Yeah. So now we have 50, 30, and 30. Now we got the hold of the values. So what if you want to do something with these values? So because it's an array, right? So you just use any array method that does the job for you, and then you basically can, just do whatever you want to do with it, right? So so what I can do here is I could say, okay, dot map, maybe I want to calculate all the salaries, so I would say salary, and then this is actually an arrow function, so you could either write an arrow function, or you could just basically write the function itself, like function declaration here, like function and then salary. And then basically here you do whatever you want to do. Maybe you want to console log the salaries, or sorry, salary in this case, because we want to have this. So and by the way, we would have a total like a kind of a step or tutorial for how loops works and what kind of built-in methods we have, stuff like that. So don't worry about this. Just the idea here, just to kind of open your eyes and to just let you aware of what things you could do with the object. So if I run it again, you could see that now I'm looping through the values now, 50, 30, and 30. So that's here, like those two differences with the object values and the salary. But what if I want to take both of them, right? And I want to have, instead of having an array of names or array of keys or array of values, I want to have an array of both of those two things. So how can I do that? Let's just write the console log there. And how to do it is using object.entries. And then you specify what is the variable that or what is the object that you want to have. So at this point here, what Java would do, or JavaScript, sorry, would do is basically have an array of arrays. But those inner arrays has two, those are like tuple, so it has two values. The first one is the key and the second is the value, and then you do whatever stuff you want to do with that object. Yeah, so these are like really handy, and I really like objects in JavaScript. They're pretty fast, and especially when you're accessing a property, it's kind of the fastest. So yeah, here are some tricks for you. Thank you.